Mic lock button is on. Double tap to lock.
Hi guys, this is 5 music genres that should have never gone in the charts. So these aren't genres that I hate, by the way, but they're genres that I think should have been left alone. I was watching an episode on dubstep yesterday and I was educated. Now I love dubstep. It's not just wobs and webs. That's bro step. Anyway, now I'm not, there are some things that I'm leaving out of this, like indie and guitar pop and new rave. I'm leaving all of that out. I'm leaving stuff like drum and bass, hardcore, gabba. I'm leaving all of that out of the out of this list because these are genres that have disappeared and gone. They've just left the face of the earth. I'm not saying there aren't dubstep and bro step producers out there or whatever producers are out there. I'm just saying these genres have faded off the charts and for very good reason. So these are 6. At number 6 is emo. Now emo was a subgenre of punk. It was trying to be something that it wasn't. Now, again, I love emo. A lot of emo bands are, pop punk bands, or they have become, punk metal bands, or whatever, just pop rock bands. And one of the bands I can think of that comes to mind is My Chemical Romance. These bands aren't bad. People like Jimmy Heat World and My Chemical Romance. These bands aren't bad by any stretch of means. There's just like emo was just, I don't know, it was a genre that, it was all about teenagers growing their hair long, and I don't know, it was just on all that hormonal adolescent thing, which was sad really, because even though emo was had its worrying parts to it, really, people at the end of the day just wanted to be something else, it was an alienated. It's not like metal where you knew everybody was alienated and then you got in a crowd and it's like, wow, this music is just amazing. The emos wanted to be alienated. It wasn't just their crowd, it was their genre. It was a weird time. But now I think emos have just gone with the rest of the crowd, with the pop punks and the metalheads and so on, or probably making their own emo music. But it just went. It just came and went without no reason. I think because people heard new rave and decided that was much of a cool genre, or indie rave as it was now known. So yeah. At number 5 is bro step. Now, I'm leaving dubstep out the equation because dubstep kind of faded out the charts because of bro step and because of other forms of dubstep. A lot of what you hear about dubstep is wrong, because dubstep it was a time where ravers were sort of drowning in the waves of different sounds and taking sounds in. For me, when I heard dubstep, I thought it was slowed down drum and bass, which some of it was. But dubstep really was a different music. It was music that we couldn't understand. That's what I liked about it. It was music not meant to be understood. You had to understand your own meanings within dubstep, but that all changed. You know, because of that. I mean, it's like with trap music. You know, it just, and I've gone back to listening to dubstep artists that made some amazing tracks. When people talk of dubstep, they talk of Skrillex, which is bro step. And now, when they talk of Skrillex, they talk of EDM. It's strange. And it's sad because when dubstep came into the charts, it was we all kind of we were all amazed because it was just like, wow, you know, this genre is coming into the charts. It's like, you know, this is what we wanted to see in the charts. Don't forget, it's 2010 when it actually came to the charts properly, and then 2011 when bro step came, or was it late 2010, early 2011 when bro step came into the charts? By then, everybody was sick of it then. It was like, well, we've heard that, move on. But I think really nobody wanted to hear more of it, which is sad. Now people think dubstep's a joke, and it's not. I think dubstep is an amazing genre because it's not, you know, you take it in. It's not like rave music or a dance. It's dance music, but it's not, you know, it's like these DJs and producers wanted people to take in the music. They wanted people to take in the surroundings, you know? It's like that comedy series Jam. I think the message behind that series, that TV series Jam, was, you know, we don't take in everything that's going on around us. You know, if you slowed everything down, if you stood for a minute, if you took everything in, the world would have more or lesser of a meaning. It's like zooming in and out with a camera. I think dubstep as a genre, for me, was, you know, an exciting element of my life because it was a different form of dance music. It wasn't just dance music. It wasn't just about the bass. It wasn't just about, it was about everything, the drums, the, you know. I think when dubstep went harder and, you know, the aggressive snares and the pounding synths, that's something that we forget now when we hear dubstep. But it's something that we go back to from time to time. And it was a YouTuber I watched yesterday, and I just went to that time period, you know, listening to some great dubstep. And there is some great dubstep. I think if you listen to a guy called Burial, you listen to his work, and if you listen to people like Zombie and Koki, if you listen to those people, dubstep's very different. It's, you know, people like Mala, Scream, Banger, who don't do dubstep anymore, but still their music is very organic, it's very heavy, it's changing direction, and that's where I think that it, you know, that it comes. But, you know, when it came into the charts, it was I don't know, it came and went. It was like there was so many things that killed dubstep, and it wasn't just Skrillex. There was the UK had a love-hate relationship with Skrillex. I'm not qualified to talk about it, but what I am qualified to say is I love Skrillex's music on a personal level because, again, there are some great memories I have of playing his music in sets. It was a time when all the kids knew what dubstep was. Kids of my sister's age. It wasn't just... Because I remember bringing dubstep music home from college, putting it on, and my sister's telling me to turn it off. And then when they heard Skrillex, it was like... I remember they crashed through my door and said, "Is that Skrillex you're playing?" I was like, yeah. And they wanted to hear more Skrillex. And every friend that I met, their generation was like, how do you know who Skrillex is? That was, what I got. And I was like, how do I know who Skrillex is? Well, how do you know who Mahler is? Turn around and that's, And so I kind of educated people a little bit, but they wanted to hear Skrillex. And then there were loads of artists doing Skrillex. But that's happened to all forms of music. It's not just dubstep. But it's just when that form of music came in, it was, I don't know, and it was also, dubstep was accepted. Very strangely, it became accepted. Really, it's like heavy metal. I'm still, personally, I don't think dubstep, I'm not happy that it has been accepted, because it, for me personally, why? Because I think dubstep should be that personal thing. That thing that once you go from childhood to studenthood, dubstep's the music you listen to. It's the soundtrack to college life, university life, moving on. You sort of, I don't know, something changes when you hear that music. Anyway, enough on that. Number 4, EDM. I really had to put this at number 4. So let's get this out of the way. EDM, electronic dance music. Now, that became a genre in early 2013, I'd say 2012 to 2015. For 4 years, we heard EDM. And it was a mixture of bro step, it was bro step, reggaeton, hip hop, and other forms of genres mixed together. And Beardy Man does a very good joke of EDM, which it is really laughable. And he's said in interviews that he doesn't hate EDM, he just wants to joke about it, which is and really it's not, I don't dislike EDM. I love Calvin Harris. I love Avicii. God rest his soul. Very sad that we lost him. I love Martin Garrix. I just think that early stuff like EDM in the early stages was amazing. But the thing was, it was about the big build-up and the disappointing drop, or the big drop. And it was like, it was all about the build. You work it all out that it's all about the build-up. And it's just, and then you realize everything is so disappointing about this music. It's like, why do we love it? You know, why do we love sweet and sour pork? But again,
I'll be in the bathroom, Bulldogs.
right. That's just my friend shouting me. I didn't get room to turn the mic off then. So, you know, the reason why it holds a place in my heart, because we all collected EDM records. We all played EDM. We all loved it and hated it. And loved it again. You know, it's one of those things. It's like, even the early Swedish House Mafia records, I can't not put down, you know, an EDM record. You know, I still listen to EDM, but the drops have got better. The drops have got more. The build-ups are not what you listen to EDM for anymore. It's the drops. But you know, it's what we remember. You know, EDM. There are certain tracks that had that sound. But when it came into the charts, it sadly, again, like bro step, like dubstep, came and went. It just came and it went, which is sad, you know, because it's something that we had, you know, we saw in the charts for a while, and it's like, you know, why did it come and go? Why? You know, I mean, EDM now, it's up there with tech house, isn't it? You know, strangely enough, when you type tech house into Spotify and all of that, you get EDM, don't you? You know, or future house. Because EDM, they realised, no, we got to coin it as an actual genre. You know, even when a lot of chats, I'll say, you know, EDM, and they're like, oh no, not another one. You know, it's and I'm the same now when I chat to people and they go, EDM, do you like EDM? I'm like, oh no, not another. You know, but it's still big. It's still, you know, but EDM arguably is all electronic dance music. We're not going to get into that argument. And number 3 is grunge. Grunge was that early 90s phase. It came and went because, again, a lot of the grunge people went to metal, or I don't know, they just, you know, or they just went sort of punk rock, didn't they? But grunge was a brilliant time because, you know, it was like punk, but it was more melodic. I don't know what to say about grunge, really. The only thing I can say about it is it's good and we love it. You know, again, it was sad that it left the charts, you know. But it didn't come in. The thing that I liked about grunge was it didn't come in trying to be this misunderstood thing. It came in being something new and hitting people hard, but people knew what it was. They understood it, black and white. It's people playing guitars, really loud, and it's people hitting people hard with, sort of punk lyrics, but also doing it melodically as well. It was kind of the heavy side to indie rock. At number 2 is prog rock. Oh, dearie me, whatever happened to prog rock? Poor prog rock. Again, like many of these things on this list, it came in the charts being a misunderstood genre. It came in, and it was misunderstood, like dubstep. But the problem was, we blame people like Rick Wakeman with his cape and, and whoever else. But really, prog rock was just another form of rock music trying to be misunderstood, and now, like math rock, music that never really touched the charts unless you talk about Dillinger Escape Plan, which really, really gave us mathcore, brought some great songs into the charts, and they had some great albums and stuff. But really, it was they never forgave the actual prog rock. They never forgave it, which is sad. Without further ado, here are some honourable mentions. Industrial. Now, industrial, even though it was parallel to punk, I'm glad that it's, not in the charts because, when you talk of industrial music, everybody thinks of Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails, but it was really Throbbing Gristle who invented industrial music. And again, some of their amazing tracks top the charts, but it's not meant to be in the charts, Avant-garde, people like John Cage and Stockhausen, people like that, in the charts. I think the music is, should be listened to by the people who want to listen to it. I think if that sort of music came into the charts, it would be destroyed. And number 1 is 1 chords, 2 chords, 3 chords, and you've got a band. Yes, we're finishing with that final article from Mark Perry. Punk. Now, punk was music to be, again, misunderstood, but like dance music, 4 to the floor, punk was this, hey, oh, let's go, and it was meant to be sort of this like folk music, but more kind of for the youth of today. I think the thing that people forget about punk is, it should have been, left as a misunderstood thing. However, it was brought to the charts, When people talk of punk, they think of the Sex Pistols, but there was the Clash and the Damned, and punk was, there were a lot of bands who were coined punk when really they were just sort of pop rock bands, This is like 1977 or 1975 to 1977. So 3 years before sort of punk happened, or two, you know, there was a lot of bands, you know, and it was kind of taking some of the 60s garage rock riffs and distorting them and playing them faster, you know. It was fast and loud. That was punk. And it was simple. And it was cheap. But it was good. You know, that's the thing. It was good. Yeah. Another honourable mention that I left off the list was two-tone and ska. Two genres there. We were talking about a band last night, Buster Blood Vessel, and two-tone ska, the Specials, Buster Blood Vessel, Madness. We could be here all day talking really good bands, but it's one of those things, these things just came and went. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, along with my other videos. I've got another video called The Top 6 Songs I Hate. Yeah. Anyway, without further ado, I'm glad you've enjoyed this video.
Mic trigger. Mic lock. Finish recording.